Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Lisa. And today we're gonna make watermelon tuna. It's Lunch with Lisa. Hi, I'm Lisa, and I cook quick and easy, healthy meals. I saw this recipe on Instagram, and I just have to try it out with you guys. You're gonna need to go get these ingredients. 1 watermelon, coconut aminos, chili powder, a couple limes, 3 cloves of garlic, some fresh ginger, and 1 sheet of nori. Nori is a seaweed that has been toasted and pressed into a sheet. So this recipe is really quick to put together, and then it takes a while to marinate. So let's get to it. First thing I'm gonna do is chop my watermelon. And what I like to do is just split it right in half so I have 2 big, easy sides to work with. I'm gonna use my nice big chef's knife. This is a big one. Oh, I love watermelon. Oh, and I got a good one, yay! Okay, so I'm gonna set one half aside and just work with one. So what I do with the other half is I'll stick it in the fridge, or I'll chop it up and put it into a container to eat fresh. But this keeps it for a few days so I can just chop right into it. All right, now I wanna get the skin off, and I wanna get these into 1-inch cubes. So the first thing I like to do is cut this in half. And this is how I always cut watermelon. I don't know how efficient it is, but it's what I like to do. So then I have smaller pieces to work with. This was supposed to be seedless, but it's not. All right, and then after I get that half, I'm just gonna make 1-inch slices. Don't make them too small. I'm making about 1.5 inches probably. They will shrink because we're gonna put these in the oven to dry them out and cook them. Okay, and after I get those sliced, now I'm gonna chop the rinds off. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees if you haven't already. That is essential. Now that I have the rinds off, I'm gonna slice them into those cubes. Then I'm gonna spread them out on my cookie tray that's lined with parchment paper. And if I have any seeds that are available to take out, I'm definitely gonna take those out. I think I'm just gonna fill up my cookie sheet as much as I can, leaving some space between them, and then the rest we'll just eat. So I'm gonna stick these in the oven for 30 minutes, flip them, and stick them back in for 30 more minutes. Then pull them out and let them cool off completely. While the watermelon cooks, we are going to make the marinade. So first thing is I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of my coconut aminos and mix that with 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. Then I'm gonna take my garlic press. You must have one of these. They are awesome. And I'm going to press 3 garlic cloves. Then I'm gonna take 2 teaspoons of ginger and just grate it over right here with this nice little microplane. This is definitely a must-have for your kitchen. And then we're gonna take half a teaspoon of chili powder. Then I'm gonna sprinkle in some chopped nori. And just mix it all together. And then we'll add this to our watermelon once it's cooled off. The watermelon has cooked and cooled. Now we're gonna add it to the marinade. Now, I have no idea what this is going to taste like, but my house smells amazing because of the burnt watermelon juice. So crazy. It smells like sushi just because of that nori paper. Might be easier to put this in a plastic baggie. It smells so good. And I had a nibble of one of these watermelon pieces, and it was so good. Cooked watermelon, who knew? All right, so I'm gonna give this a little stir, stick it in the fridge, and I'm gonna let it marinate for 24 hours or up to 2 days, they said was even better. That is the long part with this quick and easy recipe. Not hard to do, definitely not hard. Now, if you're having trouble finding nori paper, I have it linked down in my Amazon store down below, so you can find that. I ordered mine on Amazon. In the fridge it goes. All right, it's the next day, and check out this watermelon tuna. So crazy, right? I wish I had some chopsticks, but I don't. So check this out. Oh my gosh, okay, so I'm gonna taste it. It's interesting. I think it's excellent. It does not taste like tuna, but there is that fishy taste to it because of the nori. Oh, and it's got like a sushi flavor for sure. I think it totally works. We have to make some sushi. We just have to. I have some nori. I bought 50 sheets of nori. So let's make some sushi. The first thing I did, because sushi isn't sushi without rice, right? There's many ways you could make sushi, but I wanted to make it with some sushi rice. Even with fruit, it's good. So I used 2 cups of uncooked long grain rice. Cooled down quite a bit. As you can see, it popped right out. Love this thing. See here, I have this big hunk of rice now, which you probably should fluff with a fork. Just like that. I probably let it cool off a little too much, but I don't really want hot rice for sushi. And I did that last time and it was just burning my fingers. So now I have it fluffy. And then I made my sushi mixture to make it into sushi rice. I used 1/2 cup of rice vinegar. I used 1/4 cup of maple syrup. You can also use white sugar. And I used 1 teaspoon salt. And I debated whether or not to add the oil, and I went ahead and added just like a little splash of oil instead of a whole tablespoon of vegetable oil. But the recipe I found just scrolling through allrecipes.com. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this mixture to my rice. Seems like a lot and it's gonna seem watery, but it'll soak right in. And I'm just gonna mix this up. I heated all of that mixture up over the stove. It's really to dissolve the sugar. So if you use maple syrup, you don't have to heat it up as long, just to dissolve the salt. So I think you're supposed to put this on when the rice is a little bit hotter, and it soaks up so fast. This might take a little bit longer to sit, but I can make sushi right away anyways, because it's not so dang hot. But it's also not as sticky as my previous batch. That's okay, I'm learning. Let's set this aside. So I'm gonna prep some veggies and some fruit to go in my sushi rolls. I have a zucchini here that's kind of going bad. I need to use it. I have a really ripe mango, a really ripe avocado. Hopefully it's still good. It's been in my fridge forever. And then I have some kiwi. I just peeled these the other day. And I'm gonna dress everything up with some orange. I also have some arugula that I need to eat up before it goes bad, so we're gonna add that to it. It'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be good. Then I'm just gonna put a very thin layer down of rice. You don't wanna make it too thick or else it's way too much rice. Probably gave my child a stomach ache, dude, and giving him so much rice. And I'm gonna put it right up to cover about 3/4 of the nori paper and right up to the edge. If you don't want it sticking to your hands, there's a cool trick. Get your hands wet, then it won't stick to them. I was gonna say to do that at the beginning, but then my child came out here and started talking to me. I got it in there. Okay, now we're gonna roll this up, and so we want all the veggies to kind of be right towards the front. So think of this as like in fourths. So we have the first fourth here, we're gonna say empty. The second fourth is when we wanna put all our fruits and veggies, like right at the edge between the first and the second fourth. And then the last fourth is gonna be where it all seals up. I'm gonna put some arugula down first. I don't wanna forget that. Make a nice little green bed. And it's okay if stuff sticks out the end. It kind of makes it fun to eat those end pieces. I know my favorite sushi is soft shell crab spider roll. What's your favorite sushi? Comment down below, I wanna hear. Because sushi is like my favorite thing in the whole world. Some of these are really thick. So for the sushi, I'm gonna slice them down a little bit to get nice and thin. Okay, then maybe with this some mango. Yum. And then let's do some zucchini. A little goes a long way with this. Do a little bit of avocado in this too. Why not? OMG. I'm so excited. This is gonna be so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna take this fourth bottom flap here and just tuck my ingredients in and just hold it in. This is where I want to make it sure it's nice and tight. Just kind of give it a nice little squeeze, but don't squeeze too hard because I just broke it. But that'll seal up with this bottom seal. And then I'm gonna take some sushi juice or whatever liquid you have. Just kind of get that bottom wet so that it'll seal. Oh my goodness. And I don't have like a roller or anything to squeeze this, but you don't really need it. It's just homemade sushi. If it falls apart, it falls apart. But in the restaurants, they make it nice and tight. Look, the sushi roll. Now you could just go ahead and eat it like a taco, or you can be fancy. Now this is where you need a really sharp knife. So I have this nice serrated knife. It's super sharp. So I'm gonna cut it in half first. Look at it. Look at it. It looks like sushi. Oh my goodness. So exciting. And then I'm gonna cut it in half again. And cut it in half over here again. And then I'm just gonna cut those in half. So you have the perfect little sushi pieces. And now you get to plate it however you want. Be quick about it. Look at that. Look at that sushi. So here's where you can kind of dress it up. You could, you know, serve this with a dipping sauce like soy or something. But I really love fresh orange on it. So good. So just give it a nice little squeeze. You make it look pretty on the plate too. You could even use some of this sauce from the watermelon. That's so smart. You could add, you know, some veggies on the side. Might look cool. If you had pickled ginger, you could put that on here. I have some wasabi. This is so spicy though. It only needs like a teeny tiny bit. I put like globs on them and I was like crying. Like, oh, too much. Then of course you could sprinkle sesame. That looks cool. Since I don't have any black sesame seeds, some poppy seeds might look cool on here. You could put a couple extra pieces of tuna. Maybe a piece of mango. Dress it up to your heart's content, make it look super pretty. Get some chopsticks and devour this watermelon tuna sushi. How awesome is that? Cannot wait to dig in. All right, let's taste this thing. Let me get some more. Oh my gosh, so good. It's like I died, went to a sushi restaurant. Oh my goodness, you guys. Definitely. Yes, try this out. Let me know in the comments if you do and if you love it as much as I do. Everything that I used here you can find in my Amazon store. Link is down below. That is one of the ways that you can help me out is just by going shopping with my Amazon link. Use the link in 24 hours and buy something on Amazon and I'll receive a small commission. So thank you so much. Or if you want to help support me, you can also buy me a coffee at coffee.com/lunchwithlisa. Or you could become a patron like all these lovely people. Thank you. And you can watch my videos a week before everybody else. Sign up below at patreon.com/lunchwithlisa. And it's always free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. It's Lunch with Lisa.